Sonic the Hedgehog, one of the most iconic video game characters to ever grace upon the world. His video games have taken one wacky roller coaster ride of ups and downs. It wasn't until 9999 that we would see the peak of Sonic. This is when he soared to the top of gaming and presented us with his first foray into 3D. When you combine Dreamcast, 3D, and Sonic, be prepared for something beyond blast processing. It's Sonic Adventure! We all know story is very important in a video game. It's what brings together a compelling experience and ties all the knots together. Sonic Adventure creates a story around these 6 characters. They all connect with each other and you can see the perspective of what situation they're in. Our adventure involves a creature named Chaos. Eggman feeds it emeralds throughout the game and makes it fight at different areas. This is the first Sonic game that gets us involved in the story. We get many cutscenes with all the characters with some nice voiceover work. This is also the first time we get to explore in the adventure field. This is what you use to embark in each stage. It is sort of like the hub world that connects the entire areas together. This is cool for about the first half of the game, then afterwards, it becomes tiresome. The game has to load every time you enter a new section. It's not a long load time, but still. I can understand this being amazing back when it came out, but it's just pointless. It doesn't have the same feeling from Super Mario 64. Remember how seamless and intact that felt? You could feel the freedom around you. Sonic Adventure tries to capture that, but falls short. There are power-ups to collect, but that's about it. I feel this was just showing off the graphical power of the Dreamcast, but hey, that's just me. Now as for the characters, each one has their own style of gameplay. Tails is the same as Sonic, except you have to race him on each level. We all know Sonic is faster, so Tails gets to use these shortcuts to fly through. That makes it a fair race. The final stage is you racing against Eggman. That's pretty much it. Tails also has his own boss battles to fight. The Tails mode is presumably a watered down version of Sonic's levels, but it's still fun to fly around though. Speaking of watered down, Amy's mode is even slower than Tails. She's usually being chased by this perverted robot. I don't even want to know what it wants to do, but Amy has this huge hammer to protect herself. Good thing she doesn't have too many stages. I don't think I could continue with her if she had more. In Twinkle Park, you're going through some room with mirrors. I guess if Sonic got to ride the coaster, Amy gets to go through the funhouse. You know me as the fighting freak Knuckles. All the pieces of the Master Emerald have been scattered around and you gotta hunt for them. The levels are the same as Tails and Sonic, but you get to navigate everywhere. Sometimes the emeralds can be easy to find, and other times they can be not so easy. On Skydeck, one of the emeralds is inside this door. How do you get the door open? You gotta hit the switch on the other side of the deck. Now you go back and you realize you pushed it the wrong way. Now you gotta go back and now it's open. I can be such an idiot at times. These scavenger hunts are a nice break from running around, so this gets my approval. E102 does not get my approval. I am sorry, but I found no interest in this character. It just came off as boring. The levels just have you shooting stuff and they're really short. Only the last stage is okay. E102's story was not interesting to me at all. I was seriously falling asleep. I couldn't gather any feelings for E102. Now, it's time for the big one. Big the cat. His pet Froggy keeps running into the water to swim in. This is where you go fishing for it. Now, I have always been intrigued to do some fishing, and doing it here made me lose interest. I can understand doing this one time in the game, but 4 times is too much. On Ice Cap, I was looking for Froggy through the whole level. I then realized it was right at the start of the stage. Man, 2 times in a row I did an idiot thing. Why was fishing necessary for a Sonic game? Maybe they wanted you to get ready for Sega Bass Fishing. Who knows? Okay, I've delayed this long enough. It's time to talk about what you really want to see. Sonic the Hedgehog. This, right here, makes up for all the problems in the game. Just having me and Sonic race through each stage gets me so pumped up. Going in loops, bouncing at extreme high distance makes me so excited. Windy Valley is just full of speed. You go so fast that you become slightly cooler. My favorite is Twinkle Park. Running down monkeys in a bumper car is so exhilarating. Hey, they shouldn't have been there in the first place. Even levels like Casinopolis are fun. At first, I didn't know why Sonic has to collect 400 rings, but once I saw Knights featured as a pinball game, I automatically said, that's right, look at that. It's like paying tribute to a great game. Skydeck gets really intense. Look at all this stuff blowing up. It makes Sonic look tough. Rough, tough, Sonic's got the stuff. All 8 stages are filled with speed and awesome. Once you complete all the characters' story, you get to become Super Sonic and save the city. And if you want to collect all 130 emblems, you got to go through slightly challenging tasks. I was able to get 125, but the 5 I just didn't want to go through is the Chow race. Now, I know the Chow guarding is very popular amongst fans, but this is just not for me. I tried raising some, but I got turned off pretty quickly. You put the Chow in a race, and depending on how well you raised it, decides if you beat the other Chow. I put in some races and lost miserably. I already know you don't get anything for collecting all 130 emblems, so there is no need to keep going. I'm not that nerdy. Well, that's Sonic Adventure. It definitely stands the test of time and shows off that it's still just as good as when it was released. Since I happen to own Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut, I'll throw it in here as an added bonus. It's pretty much the same game. The back of the case says it has been updated with better graphics. If it is, it's not much better. Still looks the same. Twinkle Park is the only one I found that was enhanced. They added some more neon colors in the driving part. Other than that, not much better looking. There are some new content added. There is a new mission mode, and you can unlock the Game Gear Sonic games. All this new stuff doesn't help me like the GameCube version any better. Those new things are pretty cool, but playing Sonic Adventure on a Dreamcast feels so much better because you're playing a Sonic game on a Sega console. But that's just the way I feel. We all can agree that it doesn't really matter what console you play a Sonic game on. Once you control Sonic, you realize that he really is the fastest thing alive.